Welcome to Face the State. I'm Arianna Bennett. Thank you for joining us. Now, you might not realize it, but Nevada is home to more than 200,000 military veterans. We're actually in the top 15 states for the highest percentage. While that statistic might be surprising to you or me, it is certainly no surprise to my guest for this segment. Rich Crombie with the Nevada Veterans Coalition is here with me now. Rich, thanks so much for coming on the show.
I appreciate you having us. It's a really important cause, and to your point on the stat, about 1 in 12 people in Nevada are a vet.
1 in 12?
Last I looked, we were ranked 6th in the nation as far as veterans per capita. And me, having lived all over the country, Nevada is one of the most veteran-friendly states that I've ever been to. It's really amazing.
Really? Would you say because of the culture of the people, or because of the services, or what?
It's all the above. You know, the VA system here in Reno that I've had experience with has been great. I mean, there's a lot of patriotism, a lot of camaraderie between vets, and there's so many veteran events that happen here, of course, in Reno and across the entire state. And of course, we're involved with some of the big things, so I can kind of see firsthand, you know, the turnout that we get for things like Wreaths Across America and some of the events.
Yeah. Now, before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's talk about the coalition.
Right.
For those who are not familiar with it, tell us what it does.
The Nevada Veterans Coalition, we're a nonprofit organization. We're made up of veterans and non-veterans. There's another thing that people don't realize. So it's patriots, people that appreciate and love their country, want to honor their military. And we're a group that started way back in 1992, actually, about a couple of years after the Northern Nevada Veterans Memorial Cemetery opened in Fernley in 1990. And a group of people got together to form this coalition. And since 2009, we've been performing all of the military services, the actual official military services for those who are being buried or interred out at the cemetery. So truly, if it wasn't for us, there are some other groups that do some of the services. We do the bulk of them, the majority of them, and you know, we're sanctioned by the United States Army and the Department of Defense as an official authorized military service. And you know, stepping through all of it, it's about 30 minutes long, but we do everything from taps to playing and singing Amazing Grace, the folding of the flag, the 13 folds, the volley of 3 for the rifles. We escort the remains to the site. It's all very well orchestrated and choreographed, and it really means a lot to the families. That's the main thing.
I mean, it's a beautiful ceremony to watch, very meaningful, but something that you really have to know how to do. It takes practice and time. Who are these people who are stepping up to do this? They're not getting paid.
They're not getting paid. No, they're all, like I said, they're volunteers. Some of them live in Fernley, some live in Reno Sparks, some live in Fallon, some live in different parts of the state, and they come together. We have weekly services. We'll do 3 to 4 services a week. And so some folks can't make all of them. They can make as many as they can. But you know, there are certain disciplines, or some folks are more comfortable with the flag folding, or some want to be on the rifle team. Some do it all. Some sing. I'm one of the ones that sing, so people actually, they tolerate that. When it comes to Amazing Grace, we have a couple of buglers, and so I don't do the bugle. We have certain people that are best at certain functions, and we all just come together as a group and get the job done.
It's really amazing. I think if you've been to a military funeral, you don't really think about the fact that this is not the military sending people who are active duty to do these ceremonies. This is all volunteers who are doing this out of the goodness of their hearts. But I understand you need more people.
We do need more people, and I do want to throw a shout out. We do have, sometimes we'll get representatives from the Army National Guard here in Reno that will show up and assist if it's a service for an Army veteran. We have folks from the Navy that come down from Fallon that'll also show up once in a while to help us with it. And you know, at the family's request, they call them and they come down, and so they augment their piece of it into our service. Well, we're the ones that are running the show per se. But yeah, you know, when we get together, we want to make sure that the veteran and their family receives the full benefit of having a military service. This is their final goodbye, and we want to make sure they get the honor that they deserve.
Well, you do a beautiful job of it. So you're recruiting.
We are recruiting.
Who do you need?
We need anybody and everybody. I mean, truly, we'll take men, women, it doesn't matter. And again, you don't have to be a veteran. You just have to be a patriot, somebody that loves their country and wants to honor the military. And we train you. We give you this incredible uniform, right? You know, we do. We show you what it's like. Usually what happens is if somebody says, hey, I'd like to see about being a part of that. And that's how I joined. I would go to the services and I'm like, I want to do that. I want to be a part of that. It means something. and hence I joined. So a lot of times people will be moved by that and think, can I do this? Can I be a part of it? Yes, you can, and we'll train you and show you how to do it. And so really what we ask is folks get in touch with us through our website, which we'll mention, but or just show up at a service, go to a couple of them and see what it is, and we're happy to talk to you, show you what it takes, train you, again, make sure you got the proper uniform, and we just don't throw you out there. And it's a great, and once you're in, you're so glad that you're there. And I tell you what, there's nothing more rewarding than when you do a service and you're watching the family members there. Of course, most of them it's not a happy occasion by any means. They're in tears. It's a solemn, serious moment, but you can see and feel ambiance there. It's almost like sometimes when they say, just even walking onto the grounds of the cemetery, like something big's here, something not so much happened here. It's not like, but it's this aura of honor and pride. All of these people that are buried here, over 10,000 in that cemetery, that have served their country, either wartime or peacetime, going all the way back to present day. And these people all they were fathers, they were brothers, they were mothers, they were daughters, they were everybody, all walks of life. And when you honor them and remember them as we do throughout the year, not just when they're buried, we remember them during Memorial Day, we remember them again during 9/11, we remember them during Wreaths Across America in December. So their memory is always kept alive, and we're always there each time we're out there. When I'm personally at a cemetery service, when we're walking and carrying the remains, if it's an urn per se, we will carry the remains out, and I'm looking on the ground as well, and we're passing by all of these markers and gravestones, and I will read them, in my head. I'm just like, yes, somebody else is joining the ranks, in the supreme service in the sky, so to speak. But it's really a moving experience, and when you watch the families, you're handing a folded flag to a widow or a family member, and you're just looking into their eyes, and it's very powerful. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, no, I believe that. It's an incredible service. And it is only just a piece of what the coalition does. So, So you mentioned that. Obviously, the Wreaths Across America thing, I think people are pretty familiar with that one. You have another event coming up, the Memorial Day service.
Yeah. So again, it's about honoring veterans. So our number one priority is conducting the services out at the Northern Nevada Veterans Memorial Cemetery. The other part of it is honoring the veterans of past, and which is that, but not just the ones that have been deceased. I'll give you an example. We were just not too long ago in Lovelock honoring a 105-year-old World War II Navy vet. And she lives in Lovelock, and she got a governor's proclamation. The Nevada Department of Veterans Services were there to give her a nice award. We were there to present colors and represent, and it was just so honoring her in that respect. And then the future. So we talk to a lot of kids. We'll go do presentations at schools if they ask us to. We'd love to come and tell you all about what it's like to be in the military, or what it's like to be on the honor guard. We'll conduct a color guard service for you. We do make donations sometimes to different school activities, and they come out to these services and help us. They'll help us when it comes time to clean up the wreaths, for example. The high school groups will get together and do things. So we interact a lot with the youth, and then we have the present. So we have our Veteran Services Officer who resides at our main office on Main Street in Fernley. And he, Steve Abernathy, he's a great guy, and he's somebody that's a veteran, and he knows the ways in and around. The VA can be very complex, and I've dealt with it myself, and as good as they can be, but it's still a kind of a myriad of moving parts, and how to navigate through to get benefits, and to find out what, whether it's medical or GI Bill or home loan, or you're homeless, or whatever your situation is. We have a VSO that helps veterans find out here are the right resources. Here's how to get you file your claims. Here's who to call for whatever thing that you need. So we try to take care of veterans that now, right? And then, of course, the past, with whether they're interred or still alive, and in the future.
Yeah. Okay. So then if someone is at home watching this thinking, what a great organization, I think I'd like to get involved, what do you most need from people?
Ideally, there's a most need. Volunteers for one, because, we need a minimum amount of folks that are out there to be on the rifle team and the flag team, and It's just we like to have at least 9, 10 people, doing the service. And then, going to events like Color Guard. We're going to be doing Color Guard services at the Reno Aces game here and there. We're, do different things. So volunteers and then donations. I mean, we are absolutely 100% nonprofit. We get no money from the state, even though it is a state-run cemetery, but we aren't part of that. We're an added service to it because the state itself doesn't provide services per se like the military services. We do that as a nonprofit, but we do a lot of things to support the cemetery and augment some of the services and some of the equipment there. So sometimes if you drive in the main entrance, you see all the trees, or you see the big placards that say welcome and has the logo of the cemetery. We do that. We donate that. So the American Legion burn pit for the flags, we donated and helped with that. The World War I memorial that's there, the Korean War memorial that's there. You'll see the branch medallions that are up on the wall there. We have put that, the flags, so a lot of our monies that we receive, yes, it's going to pay for uniforms and things that we need, but it's also to help augment some of the things, that we need in the cemetery too. Okay. So people and money. So here's what we need. We need a volunteer to come in with a lot of money in their pocket. Then it's 2 birds with 1 stone, right? There you go. How about that? Is that an ask?
All right. This moneyed volunteer you speak of, where can they get more information?
nnvc.org is our website. It's just nnvc.org. You can go on there. You can learn about the coalition. You can learn about the cemetery. If you haven't visited, you really should go. It's our own little corner. It's not Washington, D.C. with all the monuments, but I tell you what, it has a lot of monuments. You can just take a field trip of kids there and see a lot of things, not just the grave sites, but there's a lot of memorials there. Submarine Memorial, Coast Guard Memorial, World War I, Marine Memorial. It's got a artillery, piece of artillery there. There's so many things that you can see. So, it's really just get on the website, read about us, who we are. There's contact information. There's little links that you can click to join the Guard or to, donate if you want to donate. And of course, Wreaths Across America, because we raise money for that throughout the year too. Yeah. So we have last year we needed 8,300. This year we need 8,600 wreaths.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That is.
And they're not cheap.
Okay. Well, Rich, we are out of time. I'm sorry to say it because there's always so much to talk about with you, so, always got to come back.
Well, I appreciate that.
But thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, coming up on Face the State, I will sit down with another local nonprofit, this one working to expand to help people recover from substance use disorders. Stay with us.